everyone, welcome to the December 2022 Murrieta and Temecula housing market report. Last month was a wild one. If you're one of the many people that were certain prices would drop all across the board, be prepared to be a little disappointed when we get to that part of the video. We're also going to show you a stat where Murrieta and Temecula absolutely tanked to levels we haven't seen for 10 plus years, as well as a number that we hit that hasn't happened in over 15 years. I'm Shane Bernal, your Southern California real estate agent. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home in either of these cities, we do this report every month, and I highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming reports with the latest and greatest housing market info for Temecula and Murrieta. All right, here we go. Starting with the number of homes sold. If you were hoping for signs of a normal market, we are certainly not seeing that here. Last month in Temecula, there were only 79 single-family homes sold, and that is the lowest number of homes sold in a month since December 2007, 15 years ago. And it was not a whole lot better in Murrieta, where we only sold 95 homes, which has only happened one other time in the last 14 years. To really put this into perspective, here's a look at the average number of homes that sold during the month of November between 2015 and 2019, when the market was much more normal before all the COVID craziness. As you can see, the average number of homes sold in November during this time period was significantly higher. In Temecula, November home sales this year were 46% lower, and if you're thinking November was just a fluke, take a look at what happened in September and October using this same comparison. In September, 39.5% less homes sold, and in October, 41.5% less. Using the same comparison in Murrieta, sales were 35% lower for November, 44% lower in October, and 27% lower in September. So we are definitely having issues there in both cities. Next, let's talk about inventory. How many homes are actively for sale? At the end of November, there were 299 homes actively for sale in Murrieta. And as you can see, looking at this chart, that is definitely on the lower end of the spectrum. It's better than it was during the crazy period over the last couple years where we were in the low 200s and even down into the 100s for several months, but still a lot of room for improvement there. And it's a pretty similar story in Temecula, where we ended November with 268 active listings, with the exception of this 1.5 year period here. Back in 2012 and 2013, we typically don't have this low of a number of homes for sale. It's no big secret that interest rates absolutely skyrocketed this year and remain super volatile. Despite the Fed raising the Fed funds rate 0.75% last month, the 30-year fixed mortgage rates actually came down a little, about 0.5%, from 7.13 in October to 6.63 in November. Last year at this time, the 30-year fixed rate was 3.14%, so we are still more than double that. The Fed meets again in just a little over a week, and from everything that I read, they are expected to raise the Fed funds rate either 0.5% or 0.75%. We'll see what happens and how that affects the rates as we head into the new year. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are one of the many people out there that were expecting a price drop across the board, this may come as a little surprise to you. Prices dropped in Temecula just a little over 1.5%, but went up in Murrieta 2.4%. When we have a really low number of homes sold like we did last month, it can make it a little difficult to get a good feel for prices. So I'm really curious to see what happens next month, and I'm also really curious to know what you guys think. Drop a comment below and let me know your prediction for next month's prices. Will they go up or down? Things get even more interesting here. List price compared to sales price. This shows us how much above or below list price these homes are selling for. Last month in Murrieta, on average, homes sold for 5.7% less than list price. Not since December of 2011 have people paid that much below list price for homes in Murrieta. If you think that's bad, on average last month in Temecula, people paid 7.4% less than the original price of the home that they purchased. and that is the lowest in almost 14 years, January of 2009 to be exact. So you can see how drastically things changed. In May of last year, on average, homes were selling for 5% over list price in Murrieta and Temecula. Certainly a big swing there. How long are these houses taking to sell? Average days on market. We saw some pretty big shifts here as well. In Murrieta, we went from 39 days in October all the way up to 54 days in November. Last year in Murrieta, we were at 18 days. In Temecula, we went from 33 days in October to 45 days in November. Last year in November, we were at 22 days. So we're definitely working our way back up into a more normal range there in both Murrieta and Temecula. The housing market is very volatile right now. If you're planning on buying or selling a home, make sure you're working with a real estate agent that really knows the market you're buying or selling in. We've helped several families with moving in and out of Southern California, and if you're looking to make a move, we'd love to help you too. So don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of these important updates. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.